Dear students, welcome to computerlabspace. In this series, I am going to do videos on problem solving through programming subject, which is a part of your first and second semester of engineering. The subject code is 21 PSP 23 or 13. We have 5 modules in the subject. In the module 1, we have 2 chapters. One is the Introduction to Computer Hardware and Software. It is completely a theory one. I'm not going to do videos on this theory topic. I will start with the overview of C, that is from the second chapter. I will start with the explanation of basic structure of C program, how to execute a C program in Ubuntu. Then C tokens. Along with that, I'm just going to cover data types also. Then in the module 2, managing input and output operations, conditional branching and loops, we have 3 example programs in this module: quadratic equation, binomial coefficient, and Pascal triangle. Then in module 3, we have arrays, one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, character arrays, and strings. We have example programs on this also. Along with that, as a part of this module, we are going to cover basic algorithms, searching and sorting algorithms. In searching, we are going to study linear search, binary search. Then sorting algorithms, we are going to study bubble sort and selection sort. These are also part of laboratory session also. Then in the module 4, user-defined functions and recursion, we have example program of factorial, Fibonacci, and GCD of two numbers. Then in the module 5, we are going to study what is structure and structure programs, unions programs, then pointers. Along with that, we have preprocessor directives and also example programs, that is to calculate sum, means, and standard deviation, which is a part of laboratory syllabus, and also addition of two complex numbers using structure. This is what the theory subject, that is a PSP syllabus. We'll start with the basic structure of the C program, as I already told. Okay, we'll start with the basic structure of the C program. So, basic structure of C program. This basic structure of C program includes 6 sections. One is documentation section. The second one is link section, and the third one is definition section. Fourth one is global declaration. Then fifth one, it is a main function section. Then sixth is subprograms, or we can also say it as a subsection. Okay, let me go through one by one. In the documentation section, it is nothing but with respect to the program, we are going to write the description about the details of the program. For example, regarding what I am writing the program, or who has written the program, the author, or when we have written this program. So all the program details we are going to write as part of the documentation with the help of the comment lines. If it is a single line comment, we are going to make use of this symbol. If it is multiple line comments, we are going to comment multiple lines. Comment, it is nothing but which is not included as part of the execution of a program. So that is what we are going to say that as a comment section. I will show that when we start to execute the program. Fine. If it is a single line, we can make use of 2/ to comment, and if it is a multiple line, we can make use of the symbol as a commenting for the documentation section, where documentation it is nothing but we are going to write the description of a program regarding what we are writing program, or for example name of the program. All these things we can mention in the documentation section. Then we have link section. Link section means we need to include the header files as part of a program, as part of the code. So those header files we are going to write as a part of the link section. For example, if I am going to make use of #include stdio.h. So for what reason we are going to make use of this header file? So that is where we are going to make use of the printf and scanf function. If we want to make use of these functions in the program, we need to include the header file #include stdio.h. Okay, just I'm writing it here, #include stdio.h, where in this is a preprocessor directive which tells the compiler, which tells the C compiler to include standard input output header file, where this includes standard input output functions, that is printf and scanf. Okay, then it comes the next, the definition section. Definition section, we are going to define different constants. So here we are going to make use of a keyword. One keyword is that is a define, which is used in the definition section. For example, if I want to make use of the pi value as a constant, I'm just going to make use of #define. Define is a keyword, is a preprocessor directive, pi, then I'm going to mention the value 3.14. So this means that wherever we are going to make use of a pi as a variable, that is going to replace with 3.14. We are defining the constant here. That is what the definition section. Then global declaration. So global declaration, where in the code or in the program we are going to declare the global variables, and those global variables we can access this within a program, within a sub function or in the sub program. So this is where the global declaration section we are going to include, and in depth we are going to study that when it comes under our specific topic. Then main function. Main function, it is a important one. Why? Because the program execution starts from the main function only. So it is mandatory to write the main function along with two curly bracket. One is open curly bracket where the execution part begins, and one with a closed bracket where our execution stops there. That means depends on the condition, but here we are going to mention that the end of that program we are going to mention with the close curly bracket. So that is a main function. Then subprogram section, where we are going to write subprograms with respect to the program. For example, if we want to make our program length shorter, or if I want to write a program logic in some other part as a part of the code or as a module, I'm going to make use of the sub functions or the sub programs. So this is what the basic structure of C program, which includes 6 sections. One is the documentation, then link section, definition section, global declaration section, main function, and sub program. I hope it is clear. Let's start with the example, one example. Okay, we'll go for the virtual machine. Yes, if you want to increase the size of the screen, just mouse right click, display settings. Then in the displays, here you can observe we have resolution. Before it was something around 4:3, or I'll show you. I think it was 800 into 600. If you just look at this, yes, you're going to get this. So instead of that, you can take it little bit more, like the one you prefer. I'm just making use of 16:10. Apply. Yes. So it is full screen, so that it is easier for us to write the program, right? Yes. Open in terminal. If you want to increase the font size, just on the terminal, you need to right click on the mouse button, select preferences, and here you can observe we have custom font, right? So in this you can increase the font size. Okay, yes, just make it close, select, and you can observe here the font size of this has been increased. Few commands you need to know before executing the program or before working with the Ubuntu. Yes, let's start with one example program now. Right click on the mouse button. We have open in terminal, right? Just click on that. Terminal is going to get open. If you don't want to execute or if you don't want to create the programs on this desktop, on this screen, what you're seeing here, you can just make use of the folder. You can create a folder by making use of mkdir command. Mkdir command, it is used to create the directory, and we need to give the folder name or the directory name here. So lab space, it is a directory name I have given. Press enter. If you observe here on the left side, you can observe lab space directory has been created. Next, if I have to create a file, just we are still in the desktop. We are still in the desktop, right? Our workspace is, it is on the desktop. We have not entered inside this lab space directory and started creating the file. We are still on the desktop. So just I will show you how it is going to create a file. Gedit, it is a command to create a file followed by the file name. File name, you can give it anything, but since we are making use of a C programming language, we need to give the file extension as .c only. Once you have pressed enter here, you are going to get with the screen. So this is what where we are going to write the program, or where we are going to type our program. Just simply I am saving that. I didn't type anything yet. Just save. And if you observe here on desktop, since our workspace is on desktop we have created a file that is sample.c. If you don't want to create the files like this, n number of files you are going to create, no? So if you don't want to create like this, you can create the program files inside this lab space folder or lab space directory. Now as of now, this lab space directory, it is empty. If you observe here, we are in the lab space directory and this is empty, right? We are going to enter by making use of command that is cd. Cd represents change directory. Change directory to where I have to get inside. So that is what lab space, right? So same thing how I have given before, it is case sensitive, give it as it is. CD lab space. Now if you observe from the desktop, we have entered into the workspace of lab space. Now if you create any file that is going to be get created inside this lab space, okay? As of now it is empty. Now we are going to create a file by making use of gedit. Same file I am going to create, that is sample.c, inside the lab space. And just save this. I didn't type anything, but still I'm saving that. Close. If you observe here inside this lab space directory, we have sample.c which has been created just now. Okay. Now we are going to start to work on this. And just close that directory file. It is not necessary to keep it open, right? Yes. Now I have to open that sample.c file and I have to type a sample program. So same thing, to create a new file or to open an existing file, we are going to make use of gedit as a command. Gedit sample.c. Press enter. Yes, you are getting with this screen, right? And same thing, if you want to increase the font, sorry, 1 minute. Yes, just to click on the preferences here. We have three lines now beside the save icon, save menu. So here you're going to make use of preferences, and here you can see display line numbers. If you want to display the line numbers, you can give this. Then we have font and colors. In the font and color, you can make use of the editor font. Just unclick this, use the system fixed width font, unclick that, so that editor font is going to get highlight, and here you can increase the font size how much you want. Okay, done. So this is how you have to increase the size of the font in the text editor. Okay, and now we will start with the documentation section, because we have already studied the basic structure of the C program, right? So our basic structure of C program starts with the documentation section. And now I'm writing a program. I'm writing a program just to print hello, Okay. Since it is a single line, I'm making use of a single line comment, that is making use of 2/. If you want to comment multiple line, for example, C program to print hello world. See here, observe the change. It has not yet been commented yet. Therefore, we need to make use of multiple line comment, and we need to end up here. Okay. C program to print hello world. Fine. And the next section we have link section. Link section always contains the header files. If I want to make use of printf or scanf, in depth we are going to study that in the module 2, that is managing input and output operations, where we are going to study formatted input output, unformatted input output. There in depth we are going to study about printf and scanf function. But as of now, if I want to include printf and scanf function, I need to include this header file, that is #include stdio.h, right? So #include without any space, you can make use of #include stdio.h. Okay. Then we have the next section as definition section. As and when the program requires, I'm just going to include this definition section, global declaration section. But we already know that mandatorily we need to include main function, right? So get back to that. Main function, which always start with a open curly bracket and ends with close curly bracket. This is a pair of curly bracket, open curly bracket and close curly bracket. And within this we can make use of printf to print hello world. So printf function, and this is also same thing. We're going to make use of semicolon to terminate that particular statement. And here within the pair of double quotes, whatever you write, exactly same thing it is going to print at the terminal or in the output screen. I am writing a program to print the hello world, so I'm just going to write it hello world. Okay, simple program, just I'm trying to print a single line. This is what the basic structure of the C program, right? And subprograms, later we are going to study what all this subprograms, subfunctions, everything. Now, once you write this program, you need to save that. For example, I have saved now. Let me close this. I need to execute that. So for executing, we need to make use of C compiler. I'm just going to compile the program, followed by file name, that is sample.c. If we have any error, it is going to show here. Since whatever I have installed the Ubuntu, it has been included with GCC compiler. So let me give this GCC sample.c. Oh, it is asking us to install this version. Fine, we'll do that. We'll rectify this and get back to you. Okay, if you observe here, If you observe here, I'm installing GCC compiler. It takes time. It is almost complete. Waiting for the terminal. Yes, now if you observe, it is showing like this. So let me check once whether our program is there. Gedit sample.c, right? We have saved the program by that name. Yes, our program is there. I need to compile this by making use of gcc sample.c. Yes, it is showing us with a warning. I will explain you later why this is showing us this warning. Since we have warning, it's fine. We will get the output. So check the output or to see the output, we are going to make use of ./a.out. ./a.out. It is a command. So if you observe here, we have hello world. It has been printed. And as I told, whatever you are going to write in the printf statement, it is going to display exactly like that, right? So let me do some changes here. Let me add these things. Let me add few symbols also, so that you will come to know and save before, because see, whatever the changes you are going to do, every time you need to save that, properly. Then you are going to recompile that, because whatever the changes or modifications you have done, that should get reflect, right? So we are going to compile that again. GCC sample.c. Yes, it is giving us with a warning, because we have make use of hash symbol here. So that's why it is considering this W as like a word or conversion type. Fine. I will just give this, and it is printing normally, right? So this is what a sample program today we have studied with, along with the basic structure of the C program. I hope you don't have any doubts. If you have any doubt, or if you want me to make any video regarding with the C programming, or with respect to any other, for example, installing of this virtual box, already I have done. You can check in the computer lab space. We have a separate a series of Ubuntu installation. You can install to your system also for practicing C programs. You can also put comment in the comment section. Subscribe to our computer lab space. Support us. You can learn more subjects, engineering subjects, laboratory subjects as well. Thank you all.